Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you do what you do. Well, what prompted me to come up with this particular video was some of the phone sessions I've had this week, because they were more geared towards purpose and goal setting, because the clients I've been talking to had a hard time. They set goals and they never seem to reach them. And so if you're setting goals in life and you're having a hard time reaching them, or you give up after a while, then what you're missing is a big enough why. In other words, you gotta know what you want, and then you gotta know why you want it. And without a compelling reason why you're going to do something, you're not gonna get very far in life. And so I got a quote that I wrote on this topic. I'm gonna go through some examples of goal setting that I also talk about in my second book, Mastering Yourself, which you can read for free at understandingrelationships.com, my website, by subscribing to the newsletter. And you can also get the audiobook for free by doing an Audible free trial on Amazon. So with that said, I got a quote that I wrote, and then we're going to go through and discuss some examples. I'm not going to discuss any emails today, do something a little different. So the quote says, in order to achieve and experience all that you want to in life, you must first know what you want and then why you want it. The most effective way to set and achieve goals is to write down each goal and then come up with a list of the negative emotions and experiences you will have by not taking action and not achieving it. Then list the positive emotions and experiences you will have if you do take action and do achieve it. Then you must review each goal daily and the associated pain you will experience if you don't do what you know you need to do, and the pleasure you will experience if you do what you know you need to do. This is based upon Aristotle's observation that people will do more to avoid pain than they will do to gain pleasure. This makes avoiding the goal and not taking action painful, and taking action to achieve the goal pleasurable. Most people that don't achieve their goals associate pain with taking action and trying. Therefore, they never start trying, or they only try to accomplish their goals for a very short period of time before giving up. Without creating the proper emotional leverage upon yourself, achieving your goals will be almost impossible. So let me give you an example because I've been using this for probably since I was 22, 23 years old, and I'm 48, about to turn 49 in a few months, which I still can't fucking believe, but life is still zipping by. And so if you've read my second book, Mastering Yourself, I go into extensive detail of how it changed my thinking. And so what I did was, this was something I learned from Tony Robbins many years ago, and when you do this long enough, when you have a written list of goals and the reasons why you want those goals, the pain you're going to experience if you put off doing what you know you need to do, and the pleasure you're going to experience if you do the things you know you need to do, that's how you get emotional leverage upon yourself. Because most people think about their goals and they think about all the things they have to do and how long it's going to take. It's going to be really hard. It's like looking at a big giant mountain and going, man, that's going to be a lot of work to climb that. And so they don't do anything because they associate massive pain with achieving that particular goal. And accomplishing any goal in life is really the result of breaking it down into little, small, daily to achieve goals. So for example, when I was in college and I was struggling to finish, what I realized is I had a few classes, like one being calculus, that I had taken and dropped 3 times. Because in my mind, I was afraid that I wasn't smart enough to pass calculus, because my mother, her way of trying to motivate me was to always tell me I'd never amount to anything. I mean, masculine energy grows through challenge, but when you're constantly told that you're basically not going to amount to anything and you're just going to be like all your other relatives who my mother didn't like, then you start to think, hey, I'm a loser and I'm not worthy of this. And so what I would do is, because quite frankly, I didn't like doing calculus. I didn't like doing physics either, which I needed for my construction management degree. And so what I would do is I would just keep putting it off because I associated pleasure with putting things off. And I really didn't realize I was doing this. This was happening subconsciously. I was literally causing myself to pretty much not do anything because I associated pleasure with putting it off and pain with actually doing the work and potentially finding out that I really was a fucking dumbass. So what would happen is I get 2-3 weeks in, and then you get your first test, and with calculus or physics, any of those advanced type of math classes that a lot of us have to take in school. I had an engineering degree, so I had to take these things to learn these classes, how to learn how to build, is that if you don't do yesterday's problems, there's no way, to learn the techniques to do yesterday's problems, you need to know those in order to do the new problems that you get assigned today. And it builds and it gets more complicated as the semester goes on. And so what I would do, because I associated pleasure with putting things off and pain with finding out that I was potentially really stupid, then I would do nothing. And so what I recognized when I really got into Tony Robbins' work, the personal power CDs that he was selling in infomercials back in the late 80s, early 90s, was I wrote the goal that I wanted, which to me, the ultimate big goal was to graduate with my degree in construction management. And it didn't matter if I passed all my other classes. If I didn't get calculus out of the way, I wasn't going to get that piece of paper. And so what I learned to do was I thought, okay, what's all the pain that I'm going to experience if I don't sit down and do these 3 calculus problems that I've scheduled to do tonight? Well, I'm going to be 3 problems behind tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I have to do another 3 problems. And same thing with the weekend. And what would happen is I'd keep putting it off, and I go, okay, well, I'm not going to go out with my friends this weekend and do anything socially because I'm going to stay in cram all weekend. And then the weekend would come, and all my friends were like, let's go out. Let's go have some fun. And I'd say, okay, you know what? I'll do it next weekend, because I associated more pleasure with just continuing to put it off. And so what I realized, and the way I started to think was, okay, if I don't do these 3 problems tonight, then I'm gonna have to stay up extra late tomorrow night to do them, and that's gonna put me behind, and that's not gonna be fun. That's not gonna be pleasurable. If I actually do these 3 problems tonight, the positive I'm going to experience is the positive emotions of a sense of accomplishment. And ultimately, if I continue to do this, then I pass this class, and I ultimately get my degree. I eventually get my general contractor's license. I'm able to get the kind of job that I want and earn the kind of money that I want, eventually be able to attract the kind of woman that I want in my life and have the kind of houses I want and the cars and the toys and all the things that you can have and enjoy and experience in life. And if I don't do these 3 problems a night, I'm not going to get any of that. In 5, 10, 20 years from now, I don't want to look back on my life and look and think that I didn't accomplish anything I wanted to do, and I miss out. I'm going to feel like a loser. My friends were all starting to graduate college at the time. I mean, it took me 7 years to get my 4-year degree. And so I also had the pain of the peer pressure. What are my friends going to think about me if they know I've been going to college for 6 or 7 years and I still don't have my fucking degree yet? That would impact my income, my earning potential. So it's like all my goals and all the things I wanted to accomplish in life only could take place in my mind if I got my degree. And therefore, if I didn't get my degree, I'd experience a lot of pain. So it completely changed the way I look at things. Like another example that I use is that I really enjoy running, but I fucking hate lifting weights. I absolutely hate lifting weights. I don't enjoy it. I love the way I feel after I enjoy lifting weights. I love the way that it makes me look. I notice that women pay way more attention to me when I've been working out steadily with weights than versus if I've taken a couple months off. It affects my health. So I think about all the positive that comes from it. And so I have to psychologically think about these things when I feel like being lazy, or when I feel like I don't want to go to Whole Foods and make green juice and the green smoothies and eat the nuts and eat the kind of diet that I want. Because I love junk food and pizza and beer and enjoying the good life just as much as anybody else. But, the bottom line is you got to be healthy at least 80% of the time. And 20% of the time you can fuck off and screw around and eat the junk food. And so like for me, which I also talk about extensively in my second book, Mastering Yourself, I talk about all the health problems that I used to have. And I know how that feels. As soon as I start eating shitty and not taking care of myself, I start getting a runny nose. I don't sleep as well. I'll start getting fucking zits. My energy drops. I'm not as mentally sharp. And I like the way it makes me feel. But, the one thing I always love to do is running, and it's not really that hard to motivate myself because I enjoy so much the feeling after I've run a couple miles in the treadmill and how my mind is sharper. I literally physically feel worse if I don't take care of my body. If I go, say I run out of green juice and I don't go to Whole Foods because I feel like being lazy, a day or so without any green juice, I start physically feeling it, and I don't like how that feels. So obviously there's a lot of pleasure that I associate with doing these things that are healthy, and I literally physically actually experience pain when I don't take care of myself. And so it's like the same thing that you look at. I mean, I don't have to write this stuff down anymore. It's just something that a mental gymnastics that I go through every time I have something that I know I need to do. It's something that's essential to help me achieve my outcomes and my goals. And I just think in terms of what pain am I going to cause myself by being a fucking lazy ass right now? And what pleasure am I going to experience by taking care of the things I know I need to take care of right now? And so when you start this out and you're just doing this for the first time, you're going to have your main goals, all the things that are most important to you. And on the left side, you want to put all the pain you're going to experience if you don't do what you know you need to do. And on the right column, you're going to put all the pleasure you're going to gain and experience if you do what you know you need to do. And you want to review it every day. You want to put it on the back of your medicine cabinet, maybe even tape it to your mirror, have it on the notes on your phone, tape it to the visor in your car, have it someplace, have it as a screensaver on your computer. Have it so it's something that you review continually, because whatever you focus on is going to expand. And if you're forcing yourself to look at your goals and the things that you want, the reason why you want it, and the pain you're going to experience if you don't do what you know you need to do, that's how you're going to perpetually and continually get leverage on yourself. Because really, every day you get up, it's a fucking daily battle with yourself. It's like a game of golf. Are you going to do what you need to do, or are you going to make an excuse and not do it? And like I said, when I was younger, I didn't understand how I was thinking about things in terms of associating all this pleasure with being a lazy ass and avoiding finding out that I was potentially stupid and not good enough to get my degree, because that was a lot of pain. And as I talk about in the book, when I actually did this and I scheduled things out, I talk about time management extensively in my new book, Mastering Yourself, as well. I actually ended up with more free time on my hands, and I got to look forward to the weekends because I got to spend time with my friends because I was always caught up with my homework. And when you start doing these things day in and day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, it's like one of the things, if you can do something for 2 weeks, if you can motivate yourself to do something for 2 weeks, then you can do it for 30 days. If you can do it for 30 days, you can do it for 2 months. If you can do it for 2 months, you can make it to 6 months. If you can make it to 6 months, you can make it to 2 years. So it's like every single day when you get up, there are things that you know you need to take care of. And if you're feeling like being lazy, if you feel like putting it off, which we all do, even at 48, almost 49 years old, I still feel lazy about things that I know I need to take care of. And so I start going through the scenarios. What am I going to miss out on? What's it going to cost me a year from now? What am I going to miss out on 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if I don't do these things I know I need to do? And when you think this way and you learn to train your brain to think differently about the things you need to take care of, it changes your paradigm. Then you look and you go, wow, there is so much downside risk. There is so much pain with being a lazy ass. You're going to get up and you're going to take care of business. And the more you do it, it's like repetition's the mother of skill. You get really good at it, and it literally changes the way you think. And like Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so you may have noticed that all of my videos I'm uploading to, I say all the best performing videos, the ones that people like the most and watch the most, my assistant is ripping the audio from those and uploading it to iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud. I think there's something like 20 different podcasting services that she's uploading all this to. So if you'd rather listen to this on the go instead of watching me in the video, the podcast version of my best YouTube videos is also available on the podcasting platforms. And again, if you want to get my first or my second book, my first book, How to Be a 3% Man, my second book, Mastering Yourself, you can read them both for free on my website by subscribing to the newsletter. And you can also get the audio book versions for free by doing an Audible free trial. Amazon also has them in hardcover format. They have them in paperback format, and so does Lulu.com has the paperback and the hardcover as well. And if you'd like to get my help personally with maybe figuring out your purpose, or maybe you're having problems with some goal setting or achieving the goals you want, you can book a phone session with me by going to my website and clicking the products tab at the top of your screen on any page. And I will talk to you soon.